all three of his movies up to date.
See, then you definitely like him more than I do.
Yeah, no. I like him as a filmmaker. I mean, I dig the shit out of his music too, but as a filmmaker, I really find him interesting. But he makes very profitable films because he makes movies for no money and they all really profit. And he keeps attaching himself to these mid-level $30 million productions that make this movie didn't make its money opening weekend, but it's going to make the $30 million back domestically. Worldwide, it's going to make money.
Well, you're talking about Halloween 2?
Halloween 2 is going to make money overall on DVD.
Actually, Halloween 2, even though it was a disappointing opening, the movie cost $15 million to make.
Oh, I thought he made it for 30. He made it for 15?
Now, I don't know. Maybe I heard differently. I'm looking up the budget right now. I think I heard that. Let me go back and see. Because I saw that somewhere. Fuck, man. Let me go back to Box Office Mojo.
I hope he made it for 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. $15 million.
Awesome.
Man.
So there, he profited again.
So the movie's got $2 million under his belt.
Yeah, plus advertising, of course, which you double it. But he's gonna make his money back on this and on DVD. It's gonna be a profitable one. They'll ask him back for a third one eventually. And we'll see what happens with the Blob. But the Blob, $30 million. He's gonna make that money based on the name alone, whether people hate him or not.
Yeah, they've been talking about doing a Blob for a long time, another Blob movie, and I wonder if he presented this or the studio that was planning on doing this presented it to him.
Yeah, and you know what I'd really like to see? I doubt he'll do it because he's Rob fucking Zombie, but I'd like to see him make a PG-13 movie.
Why?
Why? Because I'd like to see what he does with mood and creepiness when he can't use gore. Because he's actually done that on occasion. Like, if you watch House of a Thousand Corpses, the creepiest things in House of a Thousand Corpses aren't the rated R images. It's the stuff that you could have gotten away with in the PG-13. Like the fish guy. The taxidermied fish guy. That's like the creepiest thing in the movie. I was watching that in the dark one night, and that is the thing that creeped me the hell out. I want to see, and with the Blob, you can kill people without having to show the gore.
Hey, let me ask you something then. Oh, that's what made the Blob. You got to show, like, as in this day and age, you got to show people being melted and consumed and shit.
You don't have to, no.
But I think that's the coolest part of the Blob. Like, I mean, and I'll tell you something.
But that's what they did in the 1980s version, though. We already got the gory version.
Well, let me ask you this
Blob
then.
didn't have gore.
Well, let me ask you this. No, I remember. No, that's what was so crazy about the Blob. I should have been talking about how silly the Blob is, but when I was a kid, that scared the fuck out of me, man. Because I was thinking, what I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sitting up there laughing at daytime. Yeah, it's fucking Jello, man. Ain't nobody scared no goddamn cherry Jello. I eat that shit. I wish that motherfucker would step in here. I'll get a spoon and whoop his fucking ass. And then I'm in bed at night. I was like, you know something though? It could crawl through the door if it really wanted to. And I'm sitting there all nervous.
It could come right under because the door's closed. It could slide under the door. I'm so fucked.
Yeah,
I am so fucked.
No, that's what you're thinking. Like, where am I gonna go if the Blob decides to come in my room? Look. You could talk about all the movie monsters out there. All of them have a weakness. The only thing the Blob has a weakness against is cold, and it's gonna thaw out eventually. The Blob is the scariest motherfucker to me because it can creep into anything.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm right there with that's the thing. And you can make a PG-13 movie. I'm not saying it has to be. I'm just saying, what I'd kind of like to see is a PG-13 Rob Zombie movie and what that looks like. And the Blob would be the perfect thing to do it because the Blob is a creepy monster.
Yeah. And you know something? Let me ask you this. Okay, you're talking about PG-13 movie. I'm going to throw it out there. I think Rob Zombie would be great to direct another Gremlins movie.
To do Gremlins?
Because it's crazy. I mean, Rob Zombie, if you saw this Halloween, Rob Zombie is crazy. And this Halloween, I enjoyed this Halloween more than the original. I think it's a bad movie myself, but I enjoyed it more than the original because it is funny. It is funny on purpose, and it is unintentionally funny.
Okay, you know what my problem with a Rob Zombie Gremlins movie is?
What's that?
It would be set in a small hick town.
Well, what if somebody
rather than Spielbergia? Because that was what was kind of great about the original Gremlins is it was set in a very Midwestern town. It's any town USA. And Rob Zombie isn't going to set it in any town USA. It's going to be set in bumfuck Georgia, and Sherry Moon Zombie is going to be the mother, and all hell's going to break loose.
And that shit's going to be set in
kill rednecks.
And it's going to be set in the 70s instead of present time.
Oh no, he'll go period and set it in the 80s. It'll be 80s rednecks.
No, I'm just, man, you know Rob Zombie loves the 70s, man. He'll find a way to put that shit in the 70s, and there'll be Alice Cooper in it, making a cameo and all kind of crazy shit. Leonard Skinner would be set on fire and all kind of crazy stuff, man. The Gremlins will be responsible for crashing the Leonard Skinner plane and all that kind of shit. Maybe that's not a good idea, Rob Zombie doing that. But you know something? I think of Rob Zombie, because if you look at his movies, now look at House of a Thousand Corpses and all the fluorescent imagery and all the crazy creatures in there and whatnot. If you had a good enough writer and didn't let Rob Zombie just run off on his own, which is what people have been doing the whole time. He even says with this movie, he says, once again, people are leaving the fuck alone, let me do what I want to do. If you can team them up with a good writer, I'd love to see him direct something as crazy as Gremlins. But I don't know. That's just me. What else is going on with you, my man?
With me?
Yeah, with me?
With me? Well, there was a question I wasn't expecting. It's kind of like, what the hell is up with me? You know what? I watched a pretty cool TV series this weekend.
What's that?
Harper's Island.
Harper's what? No, well, you know me. I'm not watching too much TV these days.
I never watch TV. It's coming out on DVD on September 8th, and it came my way. And what it is it was on CBS earlier this year. It started in April and it ended in July. It was a 13-episode TV series that was complete. I mean, it was beginning to end. It was only 13 episodes, and it's essentially a horror movie on TV. It's 13 episodes of a bunch of people on an island, and they are slowly, one by one, being killed off. And the whole TV series is about them on the island realizing what's going on and then trying to figure out who the murderer is.
God damn, how many shows we going to have about a goddamn island, man? We got Lost, and now we got another island show?
Well, yeah, but it's different. It's not a tropical island. It's up in the Pacific Northwest. It's supposed to be 30 miles off the coast of Seattle. And the thing about an island is that you're cut off from civilization. You can't walk home. You can't just drive home. And if somebody does something to the boats, you can't get off the island. You're fucking screwed. And that's basically what this is about. It's a bunch of people trapped on this island, and they can't get off. And a murderer is picking them off, and it's actually pretty good.
And it's a TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show, and it's done now. It ended. You can actually find it online right now. All 13 episodes on CBS's site or on IMDb if you look up Harper's Island, or you can wait till September 8th and get it on DVD. The whole DVD, it's 4 discs and has a bunch of extras, and that's how me and my wife watched it this weekend. We kicked back and watched all 13 episodes, and it's a good watch. Essentially, it's a 9-hour horror movie. It's a horror movie with character development, and that takes time to build things and explain the mythology. And it's not perfect, but it's really good. It was really entertaining. So speaking of all the horror we've been talking about, this is a really solid TV show if you like long form horror.
Damn, you convinced me. You sold me right there. I'm on Netflix right now, putting that in my queue. Man, Netflix is
actually, yeah, it's on the Netflix queue too. Yeah,
man, let me tell you something. I'm late in the game. I don't know why, but I fought Netflix off for so long. And one day, I rented. What movie did I rent? I rented Time Crimes and this French musical called The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. And I did not have. I'm so busy that I did not have a chance to watch those. And 2 movies that cost me probably to rent cost me like about $6. End up having like $20-something late fee fine because I just forgot to turn that shit in. I was like, fuck this, because I hardly rent movies. That day I just wanted to rent some movies, and I was like, got on Netflix. Man, Netflix is a dream. I know people I know. I'm catching up to this late, but fuck, man. I just like Umbrellas of Cherbourg and Time Crimes. Now, I went ahead and had Umbrellas of Cherbourg sent to me because I wanted to watch it on DVD. I want to see a pristine copy of it because it's a really colorful film. But Time Crimes, you don't really have to watch. Hey, damn, the computer even got mad at me for not being on Netflix. It's like, what? You just catching up to that? I'm going to cut this shit off right now. I don't know what happened, man. I'm over here at my mom's place. I'm having her, since I'm going to be visiting her more, I'm having internet put in here. But right now, I'm stealing from the neighbor, so it could have been cut off that way.
You hung up on me. That's what happened, man.
No, why would I hang up on you while I was the one that was talking to you? I'm so
you're just
sick
like, fuck this. I don't even want him to hear what I'm saying. That's how pissed off I am with this motherfucker.
Fuck,
shit.
man. it just dawned on me. I hate this bitch. I don't care. I'm gonna hang up in the middle of my sentence. And Netflix click. No,
he's sitting there laughing at me for not having Netflix, motherfucker.
No, I don't know what happened. I was offended at first. I was talking about Netflix. Well, this motherfucker hang up on me. They say, no, he's fucking with me. No, man, where was I? Oh, yeah, I know people. I'm late on getting Netflix. I know that. But let me say, it is one of the most wonderful things out there. Why didn't somebody think of this before?
They just couldn't get it to work until now.
Oh, that's what I was saying before it stopped. I was watching Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
Netflix streaming.
And Time Crimes, yes. Umbrella, in case I missed this part, I'll just repeat it. I went ahead and had delivered to me on DVD The Umbrellas of Cherbourg because that is a very colorful movie and I want to see it in its most pristine condition. But Time Crimes, I went ahead and streamed that, and that's a movie you really don't have to watch in the best format to get the film. And it was so cool just being able to say, okay, I just want to watch it right now and have it stream over my computer, man. I was like, damn.
I've absolutely loved it. There was a weekend a few weeks ago in which I was just here alone all day and I was bored and I'm like, you know what? I want to watch some of the best movies ever made. So I literally just went through the streaming and found some of my favorite films. I watched Shawshank Redemption, Braveheart, and then I watched the Great Escape, and I streamed it all right here to my computer. I can stream it to my projector, but I streamed it to my computer and sat here and painted all day and watched movies that I just love.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And then whenever me and my wife have about 150 movie Netflix streaming queue, so that whenever it's like a Friday or Saturday night, and we're like, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know, let's watch a movie or something. What do you want to watch? I don't know, let's pull up the queue. And we just sift through it until something strikes our fancy for what we're in the mood for. We press play and we watch it.
Oh, no, it is great, man. I have found, I have been a man in a movie desert and just found oasis. I know people damn, Corey, it's Netflix, man. Everybody has that shit. Well, what's the big deal? No, you don't understand. I didn't have it. And I was about to give up on movies because I never had a chance to watch some of the movies that I really want to watch. Like a lot of classics from the 70s, 60s, and 50s, and a lot of foreign films that I've been wanting to see. And I've just been like, wow, it's at my fingertips. Technology is crazy. And I was like, whoa. No, really, I'm amazed, man. I'm like, what took me so long?
The streaming just started this year. It's brand new. It just happened just after Christmas. It became public. So you're not too late on that trip. This is actually the first real year that we can stream stuff like this. To devices it streams to my Blu-ray player across the house from my Wi-Fi connection. So
yeah. And it's cool, man. They need to bump up the streaming just a little bit more. I have a very fast connection at my place, and even then, the streaming came over a little pixelated. And they even what's that?
It depends on what movie it is and what quality they have it at. But because it varies from movie to movie. Some of them are really disappointing. Like I watched The Beastmaster, and it was only available in Pan and Scan, and it was a crappy old. It was almost VHS quality, and I was really upset because I'm like, damn it, I want to watch fucking DVD quality Beastmaster, motherfucker.
Well, see, that's me, man. I was watching Time Crimes, and I'm like, okay, that's great. This I don't need for this to be that good looking. I still get the film. But then I watched Californication. That's another thing. I'm watching TV series, and Californication was a really good looking copy, man. I was like, why can't the movies look this good?
Some of them can. It just all depends. I stream movies to my projector, and I project them large, and I don't get pixelization or anything like that. I get DVD quality films. But it depends on the film. Some of them are kind of, some of the transfers weren't that great.
And maybe they know that because it's almost like, look, I'm not making a joke here either. It's almost like they read my mind. I was sitting there thinking to myself, I said, man, you know what? That copy of Time Crimes that I streamed sucked. And then the next thing I know, over the email, like a couple of minutes later, I shit you not, came an email from Netflix that said, what did you think about the viewing quality of Time Crimes? And I'm like, well, I'm glad you asked. And they only gave me 3 choices because I was going to say it looked like shit. But I said, it's acceptable. I give you 3 choices. So
yeah, they send that every once in a while when you stream stuff to check what the quality is.
Yeah. That's cool that they do that. So maybe they know that, and that's why they're going to stream that. They're concentrating on streaming that better, which is cool that they ask, because I think that they really are taking viewer quality under advisement when they ask you something, and they're just asking to ask you like other people do. But
Netflix, by the way, is the only way to legally in America watch the original dub of the original subtitling of Let the Right One In.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
if you that's the way to watch it. If you haven't seen it, that's the way to watch it with the original subtitles, because Magnolia went and added new subtitles to it, and the new subtitles suck.
Well, I might have to go and check that out then.
Yeah,
but thanks for the heads up on that.
Oh yeah, no, that is the way to watch it.
Let me ask you something.
Ask me something.
I'm gonna ask you something. Speaking of watching movies. I saw 2 movies this weekend. I saw Taking Woodstock, and I really liked that movie, man. I liked that movie a lot. And then I'm thinking, okay, this is right up there with some of Ang Lee's best. And then I go to Rotten Tomatoes, and I see that the movie only has 50%. And I'm like, what's people's problem with this film?
It's like me and Leon told you in the review. The problem with the film is that so many people go in wanting to see Woodstock and not getting what Ang Lee was trying to do. And they walk out going, that's great, but they could have given us some Jimmy. They could have given us some Janis Joplin. They talk about God, now I'm blanking on his name now. The musician they were talking about showing up throughout the thing.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
they could have given us some Dylan. And no, that wasn't the point of the movie. The point of the movie was seeing what was going on the periphery of Woodstock. We all know what happened at Woodstock. We've all seen footage. You can at any time get a copy of several different versions of the original Woodstock film and see all the best parts. Ang Lee wanted to make something completely different. And if you read a lot of the reviews, the negative reviews, that's their beef. Their beef is they wanted more of Woodstock.
I don't get... See, this is one situation where I don't like to be condescending to people, but I will say that if that is your complaint about the movie, complain about some other things, and maybe I'll understand. But when you say I didn't get to see the performances, do you not understand that it was about this guy who came to certain self-realizations? Your central character, Elliot, played by Dimitri Martin, he came to certain self-realizations by not getting to that concert. It was the people that he met and experienced he had putting it together.
Well, and several of the other characters that are just small characters that also have these life-changing experiences involved in it. Like that whole great scene with Emil Hirsch up on top of the hill, and he's like, I love this hill.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean that is like one of the most profound moments in the film, and it has nothing to do with what's going on stage. It has everything to do with a guy coming to grips with coming home and finally realizing what home is and being surrounded by love and joy at this festival that has nothing to do with the music. It has to do with the people, and it really makes you feel connected to the event rather than what was on stage, and I dig that.
It's like one of my favorite movies this year, man. I thought it was a beautiful film. I loved it, man. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, now you see why we both gave it full price.
Yeah, no, I'm in Waco, people, right now. That's where my mom lives, and there's really not a whole lot to do here. Which is good because I needed that, especially after last weekend. And yeah, man, I had to get
very angry at Coco.
Man, I had to get away. A lot of people don't understand, and
I do. That's why I do. That's why I couldn't immerse myself in it. I would go and spend a few hours with people, and it's like, okay, now I got to go home because I can't spend 72 hours straight with Spilios. I'll lose my goddamn mind.
And I did, and I wish. For a couple of people, I hope you understand that. You don't understand. I did something unusual that a lot of people would not do. And not only did I host a party that went on for almost 4 days, 5 days because it extended, but I know and spent one full day with almost nearly 100 people, probably 100 people, but on top of that, I opened up my home to these people, and I opened up myself, and it just got to a point where I have no regrets, none at all. It was the best time I had this year, but I really did. You don't understand. For anybody that is upset at me for something that I did, you got to understand this wasn't normal for anybody.
Well, no, it was normal to a certain extent because people got to see what happens when you go without sleep and add alcohol. because that's what happened. Is you didn't sleep 8 hours a night during the spill party, did you?
No, I did not.
And you were drinking alcohol constantly during the spill party, weren't you?
Man, not only during the party, but I was drinking like.
I'm talking about the whole weekend.
Oh, the whole weekend I was drinking, man. And except for I didn't drink that heavy on Friday night because I wanted to be ready for the day, but I did not sleep. I couldn't sleep. I was nervous. But
I'm telling you, man, this is something we all have seen a million times, and it was one of those things we were worried about. It's like if he doesn't sleep and he adds alcohol, he's going to turn into Cranky Corey. Captain Cranky Pants, and that's, I'm sure, what happened several times during the weekend.
Well, it only happened once, and unfortunately, like it happened on somebody. I shouldn't probably even bring it up, but it was a reason why, and but no one was around to see why, and it was just kind of like, and I feel really bad for doing that, but I have to say, like. But for the most part, I was really patient, and I really had a good time with people. I love opening my home to people, and it was just 2 nights where some people even decided to like stay longer. Like they just said, I'm going to stay an extra day. So that meant,
they did.
Yeah, and that meant that I had like an extra day of people at my house, and it was fine. I mean, I loved it. I'm not complaining at all. If we do this again, I don't know if I could actually accommodate. If it gets bigger, I don't know if I can accommodate everybody, but I'll be better prepared for that to happen because I love having people around. But I don't know what led us on this conversation. But that's right. I had to get away. So yeah, after last weekend and some of the fallout and the good times and whatnot, I really had to just get away. And like I said, my mom is feeling kind of lonely and depressed, and I just had to come home with her. And in Waco, there's really nothing to do. It's just you're either content to stay quiet and at home like I did, or you go to a movie. And I went to see Taking Woodstock, and it was cool, man. And I'm really glad you guys told me about it because I really love that film.
Yeah, no, and this is one of the things I was talking about at the very beginning, a very angry top 5. That what's so heartbreaking is that didn't even clear the top 5. It did piss poor this week. It made less than $3 million.
No, it made $3 million. It made probably about 3.5, something like that. So, but still, man, the movie cost like $30 million. Now that's a movie that cost $30 million to make, which I'm still surprised because of all the extras in that film. I mean, that movie was insane. I would love to have been an extra on that film. A lot of naked people around there too, but it's.
Did you see what I was talking about? How kind of frustrating it was for Corey Coleman, and that there's naked people, but the camera never focuses, so you never get to see anything really.
It is something about looking at naked hippies that reminds me of looking at National Geographic. It's nothing sexual about it.
It's true.
It's like you're just looking at these people.
They're unwashed. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I might as well have been looking at like primates or wild caribou stirring in mud or something. I mean, it really wasn't sexual to me at all. And sometimes it was really cool to see people that free, but it was still like, all right, I'm not getting a hard on watching this.
Thank God Dan Fogler kept his pants on.
Oh, man, Dan Fogler is the guy that was what movie can you name that this guy's been in that people recognize him from? He was in
Balls of Fury.
Balls of Fury. He was the star, and he was in Fanboys.
He was in Fanboys.
Yeah, and that fat fuck, he must have known. In fact, I think he.
Now you don't need to call the guy a fat fuck,
but he is, and he's hairy, and he was probably about like Ang Lee was probably like, okay, everybody get naked, and he was about to take his pants off. Ang Lee's like, no, except you, keep your shit on.
I like the man penis, but you keep your pants on.
Okay, now that's my question.
I don't even know what accent that was, but that was my best day.
I do keep the man penis.
You keep the man penis.
I think you did a boo from The Simpsons or some shit.
You keep the man penis. Thank you very much. Have a good day, sir.
Now, after having so many gay movies, I did not know because I don't read up on Ang Lee's personal life. It's probably obvious, but I guess at this point, everybody knows he's gay. So is he gay?
I think so. He's made like 80 fucking movies about it, I would assume. If he's not, he's one of the single greatest gay activists of all time.
Yes. Yeah, it's not. He has a lot of gay friends who are pressuring him. But this movie, very good movie, man. I also saw Ponyo, and that was really cool. Isn't that just The Little Mermaid done by Miyazaki? It pretty much is, except it's done with children, and it's not his best. Miyazaki, he's the guy that did Spirited Away and Totoro, My Friend Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro.
My Neighbor Totoro.
What was his biggest hit here? Princess Mononoke is one of them.
Spirited Away was his biggest hit. Princess Mononoke was the second biggest.
Okay, and
last movie they put out of his was Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving, which is not good at all, if you ask me. A good-looking film, but one of my, of course, any animator loves this guy. So I got all the animators together from the site, and we all went to go see Ponyo. And I tell you, it's not his best by any means. It's kind of boring in some parts, but to watch these kids in there look at this movie, which has such great artistry, and they just loved it, man. And these kids were dancing and really having a good time, and it's like that made the movie better for me. I was like, wow, this is cute. And it's a cute movie. It's one of those films where you either have to be an animator to enjoy it with other animators to its full extent, or you have to have children, because it's the perfect movie to take children to. Children will love this film. I can't recommend it enough for them. Have you not seen it?
No, you know what? It's one of those things I don't really talk about. I don't like Miyazaki.